Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are absolutely dissecting the subscription box blueprint. I mean, whether it's specialty coffee, curated books, or your grooming supplies arriving like absolute clockwork, you've probably noticed this model has totally rewired retail. But how are these recurring revenue engines actually built? And more importantly, how do they survive in the real world? Let's unpack the whole shebang.
Okay, here's our blueprint for today's explainer. First, we'll look at the subscription business model. Second, the psychology of subscribing. Third, we'll go through a step-by-step box blueprint. Fourth, we'll tackle subscription box economics. And finally, number 5, winning the retention game.
So let's jump right into section 1, the subscription business model, moving from one time to all the time.
Traditional e-commerce, it's basically a relentless treadmill of unpredictable one-off orders. You're constantly burning cash just to chase down brand new customers, and that leads to some massive cash flow stress. But the subscription model, it replaces that total nightmare with the absolute dream of steady, predictable recurring revenue. Instead of waking up and hunting for a new sale every single day, you're earning from the exact same subscribers month after month. It's a total game changer.
All right, moving on to section 2, the psychology of subscribing. Why people happily pay every month. Because remember, they aren't just paying for a cardboard box. They're paying for 3 core emotional triggers.
First up, we have discovery. Think about that little jolt of joy you get when you unbox a surprise collection. It genuinely feels like getting a fun gift to yourself every single month, right? You get to try new brands or unique snacks that you'd honestly probably never pick off a stale retail shelf on your own. It's like a tiny, curated adventure delivered right to your door.
Then there's convenience. Now this is the holy grail for replenishment boxes. Stuff like razors, coffee, pet food. People absolutely love outsourcing their memory. A good subscription quietly and seamlessly embeds your product right into their daily routine. It literally solves a recurring problem before the customer even realizes they have it. But the actual glue holding this all together, that's personalization. The smartest boxes out there quiz their customers right during sign-up to capture their exact tastes. It gives the customer this feeling of, hey, someone actually picked this out just for me. And honestly, when you hit all 3 of these emotional triggers, discovery, convenience, and personalization, your customers won't just keep paying you, they'll actively recruit their friends.
Okay, section 3, step-by-step box blueprint, from concept to unboxing. Taking a concept all the way to launch happens in 5 distinct phases. Step 1, you pick your type and niche. Step 2, you design your offer and pricing. Step 3 is curating products and planning your inventory, which, by the way, is blissfully easier when you have predictable subscriber counts. Step 4 is acquiring customers and initiating billing. And finally, Step 5, pack and ship.
Let's zoom in on step 1, because this is your foundational choice. Are you providing essential, everyday replenishment, or are you selling the excitement of curated, themed surprises? Once you choose your lane, you've got to get ruthlessly specific with your niche. The open secret in this industry is that you succeed by hyper-focusing on a specific audience, not by trying to be everything to everyone. Now, skipping ahead to step 5, the actual packing and shipping. The really smart brands know that the box isn't just a delivery vehicle, it is the product. Beautiful, themed inserts and a killer unboxing experience drastically increase the perceived value. And more importantly, it drives social sharing. Basically, it turns your current customers into a totally free marketing engine.
Moving right along to section 4, subscription box economics. How these boxes make and, well, lose money. This right here is the ultimate balancing act. Your profit engine runs on recurring revenue, high gross margins, and a high customer lifetime value, which is just the total profit you extract before they cancel. But stocking that engine are the major risks: high customer acquisition costs, rapid churn, and poor value perception. Basically, this whole model only works if your lifetime value drastically outweighs what it costs you to actually acquire that customer in the first place.
To keep that profit engine from totally stalling out, you have to aggressively track your gross margin per box. You take your top-line subscription price and you just ruthlessly subtract everything. I'm talking wholesale product costs, custom packaging, shipping fees, and yes, even those pesky payment gateway transaction fees.
Which brings us to the magic number. Listen, if you remember absolutely nothing else from this economics section, make it this: 40 to 60%. You have to maintain gross margins of 40 to 60% per box after all those costs. If it's anything less than that, you just won't have the capital to acquire new customers and, keep the lights on.
And that brings us to our final section. Section 5, winning the retention game. Why they stay and why they go. Because keeping a subscriber is just as vital as finding one. So what's the winning formula? Well, subscribers stick around when the financial and emotional value of the box consistently outweighs the literal price tag. And the experience has to stay fresh. You can't just send the exact same variations every single month. You need exclusive items and real surprises. Plus, it really needs to fit an ongoing lifestyle habit, not just a passing curiosity.
But if you fail to maintain that value, you run headfirst into a pretty grim statistic. Average subscribers often churn out after just 3 to 6 months. When the novelty wears off, or if the curation gets kind of lazy and feels, junk-filled, they are going to hit that cancel button without a second thought. And honestly, when the economy tightens up, anything that doesn't feel absolutely essential is the very first thing cut from the budget.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to take a look at your own credit card statement. Think about the boxes arriving at your own door this month. Are they delivering real, fresh value? Or are they just quietly filling up your home with unused items? Thanks so much for exploring this blueprint with me, and keep learning.